Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and I'm here to talk about a very sad situation that happened this past weekend. And I think the fight took place in Ghana, Accra, Ghana, and his African fighter Segun Success is his nickname. Fighting nickname Olanrewaju. So it's a very hard name to pronounce, last name. But he fought this past Saturday night. His opponent had a record of 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 12 KOs, known as John Power Magnagu. So it was a Nigerian fighter he fought. So the fight took place in Accra, Ghana, and based on the little clips that I saw, Segun looked like he had the fight in control. He was boxing beautifully, using his jabs, keeping the distance, comfortable. And then the unthinkable happened. He just collapsed to the floor without taking a punch. So I got the full story here. It's a pretty sad situation. The Nigerian boxing, I'm going to read it to you guys in a second. So here I have it. The Nigeria Boxing Board of Control says boxer Segun Success Olanrewaju, who died in Accra, Ghana on Saturday, was not granted approval for the fatal bout after his initial fight scheduled for Friday was cancelled after being adjudged overweight. The 40-year-old former national and West African light heavyweight champion lost consciousness during his bout against Ghanaian boxer John Magnagu at Fight Night 15th of Ghana Professional Boxing League at Bukan Boxing Arena. The punch learned that Olanrewaju was leading on points before the tragic. Remember I said he was boxing beautifully, keeping the distance, looking comfortable, showboating, having a good time in there. A point before the tragic incident occurred in the scheduled 8-round light heavyweight showdown. Also known, that was his opponent's record. I read that already. 12 wins, 1 loss, 12 KOs. It took only a few seconds for the officials and fans at the Bukan Boxing Arena to realize that something was seriously wrong. Olanrewaju had landed 2 weak punches on his opponent before Magnagu responded with a right hand to the Nigerian's face. After a brief impasse between both men, the Nigerian boxer staggered backwards, fell against the ropes, and collapsed to the disbelief of fans. The Nigerian fighter slumped on his side as the referee began the mandatory count. Now, honestly, the referee should have never even started counting. He should have realized with the experience that he has to not even count, because that was for a moment to realize something's wrong. Obviously, why would, if I was a referee and a fighter just falls without taking a punch, that's obviously that's a big red flag. Like, something's obviously wrong. He did not take not one shot, and here he goes down, collapsing like he got knocked out with a punch. So, like I said, he slumped on his side as the referee began to count. Moments later, he turned his face down with his throat resting against the ropes. His team rushed into the ring, placed him on the canvas, removed his gum shield, and attempted to resuscitate him as he appeared to be gasping for breath. So, based on the clip that I saw, Segun was still breathing. The on-site emergency medical team quickly transported him to the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Secretary General, the Nigeria Boxing Board of Control, Remi Aboderin, told the Punch that the boxing body permitted Olanrewaju to fight on Friday, but the bout was cancelled. According to Aboderin, the late pugilist then decided to fight the next day so he could make some money to clear his debts back home. Segun got our approval to fight in Ghana, a fight that was proposed to take place on Friday. Unfortunately, they did weigh in on Thursday, and he was found to be overweight and 40-year-old, and they told him in the person he was to fight was not his weight. They said to do this, they would increase his purse with another $500, which he said was too small, and due to that, there was no agreement. Furthermore, revealed that another Nigerian fought that Friday night. Saturday morning, they were on their way back to Lagos. They had even left Accra and were to Alpha boarding when Segun said to the coach that followed him that it was not going to be an easy returning home. He left Nigeria with no money and had debts to pay and needed money, so he wanted to call the Ghanaians and see if another fight was coming up, and told them he was now ready to collect the additional $500 as discussed, because he felt it would not pay him if he returned home without money. So they called the matchmaker, who informed him that there was a fight on Saturday, which is the fight that happened night, that they could put together a fight for that Saturday, but we didn't give him the approval for that fight. And this is where the Ghana Boxing Association erred. So he turned back and went back to Ghana because he needed the money. He owed a lot of people money. Coach O, who trained Olanrewaju, told the Punch that he advised the boxer fight against fighting on short notice, which he did. He told them that they gave him a fight last week after he informed me. I told him the fight was at short notice, so you are not training and you want to go. You can't go. Leave this fight for a better offer. He initially told me the fight was on April 1st, but he called later to say it was no longer next month, but on March 29th. So I told him that it was at short notice, but if he wanted us to go together, he should tell the organizers to book flights so we could go there and come back together. He called them, and when they got back to him, he said they told him they would get him a car that would take him to Ghana. I said, no, that's not possible. So he knew I didn't want him to go. After that, he called me that they had given him a release letter for the fight. I didn't hear from him afterwards, so I called him. He said he had been called again for the fight and was going that night. I told him, success. Don't you think this fight is too early? He said he will call me back. The next time I called him, he said he was on his way to Ghana and he didn't call me because he knew I wouldn't allow him to go. That was why he didn't tell me. He is an adult, so I could not stop him. Now we have this situation. These are the things I advise my boxers against. You can't pick a fight at short notice. You need at least 1 month. I am very saddened by his loss. May his soul rest in peace. So that was the trainer's words for Olanrewaju, who took the fight on short notice, because he needed money to pay his debts. Very unfortunate situation. As we all know, he passed away shortly after the fight at 40 years old. Took the fight on short notice, unfortunately. And his trainer advised him, regardless of the circumstance, you do not take a professional fight, a boxing fight, on short notice. You got to take a month or 2 of training to get your body fully prepared for whatever happens in the fight. And look what happened. And the crazy thing is, he was in control. He seemed to have control of the fight. He was very comfortable in there, having a good time, showboating, using his jab, keeping his distance, doing whatever he wanted with his opponent, and then it happened. Very unfortunate situation. Usually when boxers pass away is due to blows in the ring. It was a tough fight, a lot of punishment received, and they succumbed to the injuries. This was totally the opposite. He just collapsed. No punch landed. Some say it's a heart attack, a stroke, something. But very unfortunate situation. May he rest in peace. And at the end of the day, he was a fighter. He did something that a lot of people aren't able to do, don't have the guts, the cojones to do. Step in a boxing ring, put on pure gloves, and swing away. And that's what he did. He will go down as a warrior. He will go down as a fighter. No matter what the odds, he decided to step in the ring. And Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned.